Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous. Welcome for the first time. If it's your first time joining us, I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons show! I'll have some announcements and a recap for all of you, but before we dive into any of that, we will go ahead and do some player introductions.
Hi, I'm Aster. I play Embers of White Ash with the Backseat Sun Soul Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I play Lady Elwyn Amalos, who is an elvish Circle of the Land druid.
Hi, I'm Gabo, and I play Art, the Dragonborn Battlemaster Fighter.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vert, the Changeling Armor Artificer.
Thank you, everyone. So those announcements. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Throughout the campaign, we use a variety of custom items, custom monsters, all that fun custom stuff, so be aware of that as you're watching. The character portraits, which you'll see once we switch to our main layout, were done by an artist named Zyra Brittany, who goes by @Zylevy on Twitter. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in the campaign, you can check out our campaign wiki at World Anvil. You can also check us out on our socials, where our handle is Antiheroes Anonymous, all lowercase. And then for anything else, you can look at the video description for links and information, such as links to things we believe in, including trans rights, Black Lives Matter, and Stop Asian Hate resources. And finally, we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the Silver Seekers have been in Bryvynth, where they helped the Knights of the Scale free the city from the rule of Governor Honlor, who happens to be one of Art's old friends. After defeating the undead Arbiter Dolitos, they convinced Outhild, the leader of the Knights, to let Honlor live after he turned his back on the Empire to help the people evacuate. However, Art's dragon Lumbra was not here as he'd hoped, and the party unfortunately has no time to head for Vogma, where Pyrox is conducting experiments on her, because they must instead get back on the road to Fulaerith. Because their old enemy Cephalosk has tampered with the Nexus of Storms there, and they are no closer to figuring out how to seal it. And so, with all that said, we will go ahead and dive in right at the moment we left off.
We'll get back on the road once I get a bite to eat.
Grab a quick bite.
Yeah.
So I just want to preface this by saying I was listening to last week's episode and remembered belatedly that in most vampire lore, I don't know if this is a D&D thing, in most vampire lore, if you drink the blood of a dead creature, you die.
Oh, shit.
So I had a panic attack this afternoon.
I don't think that's an official D&D lore.
Until now.
I was confident. I trust Nyadon. Why? Why do I trust Nyadon?
I don't know.
I just do.
So, on that note, the rest of the party's attentions are diverted elsewhere. Seeing to... Oops, this is the wrong song. One above it. There we go. Seeing to the needs of citizens and talking amongst each other. Meanwhile, Vertinor has had a brief conversation with Nyadon and decided to stoop over the body of the dead dragon Tyhar, bleeding from multiple wounds, that red liquid pouring out over the cobblestones, and take a sip.
Yep. So he skulks over there when he has his, when he senses an opportunity. And what happens?
Vert, as you stand poised over the body of Tyhar, and you prepare to take your sip, the scent, iron and suddenly delicious smelling, wafts over you, and you can feel those fangs that you felt on occasion like slide out into position in your mouth. And before you know it, you are lunging forward and you drink.
When you said I was preparing to, for some reason I had this image of like poof angel vert and poof devil vert. Be like, this is a great idea, this is a terrible idea. Like my last stand of consciousness.
As the blood rushes into your system, it is like nothing you've ever experienced before. Euphoria. Bliss. You almost don't feel as if you could stop drinking. And no matter how much you take in, it's like there is this emptiness inside you that is being filled for the first time. And at the same time, it feels as if it may never be filled. You feel strength flood into your body. Strength like you've never felt before. You feel how art must feel on most days. Like you could wrench a door out of its sockets and throw it across the room. And it just suffuses your body. What I need to know from you is a visible place on your skin where you, Zach, are okay having Vert being marked in some way.
Can I do I have to pick that right now? What makes sense? And is this mark? I mean, maybe I don't know this. Is this mark going to persist even if I change shape? Or is it something like that that only appears on its changeling form?
So this will persist no matter what form you take.
Cool. Face. No. I'm kidding.
Neck tattoo.
I know, right? So honestly, I think I was thinking somewhere around the arm, maybe where the dragon wings would be or something, or one of his shoulder blades.
Okay.
Or something back here. Maybe his back right.
Okay.
How big is the mark?
Shoulder blade?
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to examine it in a mirror, but you feel like this change, this transformation rush over you. And when Vert has that moment to look in the mirror later, he will find that a patch of his back, maybe about a hand's width size, around his right shoulder blade, has manifested these emerald green scales. Dragon scales.
Whoa.
Previously, you had a custom magic item equipped called the shadowed symbiote.
Yeah.
You can get rid of that, and now you can add the feat. I've redone it as a feat.
Okay.
Dragon Vampire Symbiote feat.
Okay.
And I'll let you look at that a bit. But you feel this strength and speed and agility flood your body. You feel more alive than you have ever felt as you consume this blood.
And it was dragon.
Dragon.
There it is. Oh,
Yep.
The new stuff is at the very bottom.
Let me get this.
Everything down to symbiote stats is the same as it was before, but vampiric influence, that new header, is the new stuff.
Just drop this.
Delete it.
Damn, what embers? What should you and I get bitten by? What's next? Or bite into, I suppose.
I think I'd like to get bitten by a snake.
Wow.
So, how much time passes for Vert when
While you're consuming
drinking?
this, it feels both simultaneously fleeting And as if you've been drinking from this font of ambrosia forever.
Okay.
Probably about 30 seconds to a minute before you come to yourself.
And then what's like Nihedon's like thoughts and feelings?
There's just this like this blissful sigh of satisfaction.
Okay.
That's all you sense from Nihedon.
When I come back to my senses after that minute, I do want to talk to Nihedon briefly. And say, I think I could get used to that.
I had forgotten the rush of consuming blood.
Yeah, I've never felt anything like it.
You feel the power, the strength.
Yes, incredible.
This is how I felt all the time.
Wow.
Before he killed me.
Wow. Well. Yeah, we're gonna have to. What? And does Vert feels the change?
Yeah, there's
happen?
probably like an itching sensation back there.
Yeah, so I think he like kind of reflexively like touches. He's like, it's changed me. Kind of like how our relationship has changed me.
Yes, that is unforeseen, but I see no reason to think of it as a negative.
I mean, with power like this, maybe we could continue to whittle down the Empire's forces with greater ease than we had in this previous fight.
Yeah, you feel you feel like a mental agreement to that, and he says,
Yes, many of our foes will be dragons. Repeat this and we will have a much easier fight on our hands.
Okay. I want to roll insight on Nihedon real quick too. That's pretty good. 21. So it's... I just want to see if he like... I don't know. Has our relationship gone to the next level? Does he trust me?
Are you support rank B?
yeah,
I know, right?
ranked up for sure.
Okay, I just, like, this has been a rough part of their relationship these past, several weeks or whatever since Amber Hearth and stuff, where they've had some clashing and stuff like that and different opinions. So for Vert to kind of like take this, I don't know, maybe a leap of faith in some way for Nihedon, just trusting him in this way and giving into these feelings, I would hope that he's gonna like, I don't want to say like behave, but like they're aligned. They're more aligned maybe than they were before.
No, I think Nihedon kind of picks up on what you're feeling, because you mentioned your guards are a little bit low right now.
Yeah.
And he says,
I still do not understand the process by which we were merged in your father's laboratory, but this, for the first time,
It feels right, doesn't it?
it feels a true partnership. We could do great things, Vertinor.
I think so.
We could get true revenge.
That is my wish as well.
Good. Then we are aligned.
Excellent.
and he goes back to kind of like silently rumbling and like exulting in the feeling of having consumed this dragon's blood.
So the feeling, the power that I felt or am feeling, does that manifest in any other way other than this feat that you've given me? I haven't read it, really any of it yet, but like, is there like a temporary like?
So did you read the very last line of the feat, and you'll understand how it manifests.
Excellent. Okay. I'm just trying to see if like
read the assignment before you ask questions.
It's hard. It's hard when I can't read and talk at the same time. All right.
Very last bullet there.
It's on the slide, Zach.
Got it.
I knew this person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh god.
So like, other than the patch of scales that's on his shoulder blade now, does he, like, physically change in any way? No? Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, other than the patch of scales you can't shapeshift away despite being able to shapeshift into whatever you want, yes, you're unchanged.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so I think after he concludes his conversation with Nithon, he'll probably, like, clean off a little bit and then, like, put his visor back down just to hide any remnants. And then he'll join casually back with everybody else.
Deception check?
Performance check?
Well, I already rolled a stealth, so, like, nobody saw me do a thing, right?
No, we didn't see it, but the way you come back to us all casually, do you need to roll deception? Are you feeling casual?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well roll... What would it be? Yeah, roll, like, let's call this a sleight of hand.
Okay. 24 is what I got.
Okay.
Yeah, it beats my passive everything.
Yeah, I think that beats everyone's passive everything except maybe Elwyn.
No, my passive perception.
Whoa. This took a direction I didn't expect.
Because he is playing it cool.
Casual. Rejoining the party. That's how he feels right now. Like,
That's all direction I did not expect.
Yeah,
find a
my
different song.
passive perception is 18, but I have a passive insight of 21.
Oh, wow.
If that ever matters.
Yeah, I think he manages to kind of rejoin the group without suspicion in this case. What I was looking for was, like, whether you got blood on other parts of you other than your face while you were drinking.
Okay.
And it seems like you were able to, like, pretty much keep it to your...
I'm a pretty neat, you know. I'm a noble.
You have table
I have
manners.
manners.
So what's everyone else up to? And I will turn it over to the group here to kind of tell me what you want to do, because packing up Bryvynth and getting, like, the citizens on the road is going to take probably at least a day. So you have, assuming you want to stick around in Bryvynth until everybody else departs, you've got a little bit of time.
I mean, at the very least, I think we ought to sleep.
Yeah.
I need to sleep.
Yeah.
So we could. Do you want to stick around until everyone is on their way, just in case? Or do you think we should get out of here?
I'm pretty torn, but I know we gotta get a move on. I think we should sleep and trust that they got this. We can ask Oddhild if there's any way we can support them, like, on the way out to, like, help, you know. So I think Art would, like, if it's organizing, rallying people, like, you know, moving people out, like, I think he'd, like, stay up to, like, help see that. But I assume they want to be gone.
Day is it
before, you know?
Gosh, let's see. You attacked the temple pretty early in the morning.
We went straight.
It's been such a long.
It's been such a really long day.
Then you went to the keep, and then you went from there to here. So, I mean, I would say it's probably, like, late afternoon.
It's probably pretty late. So we'd imagine that everyone else is going to probably go home, pack up their lives, sleep, and then head out early in the morning. So
no one's going to leave before morning at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah, so should we just find a bed somewhere in town and sleep, and then we can help them kind of get out of town in the morning as we're leaving too?
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Sorry, can I backtrack a little bit? Is that okay? While he was doing whatever, I think after I picked up the sword and stuff, I would have regrouped with Hongor. I want to ask him for the horn.
Oh, okay. Let's grab and...
Funny, I was just on my way to do that.
Yeah, but you're busy.
I know. This is at the same time where I'm doing my...
Yeah, I figured,
you snuck
like,
off to... Or sorry, skulked off to make bad choices.
I think
and
that was a priority.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think he just wants to make sure that...
Are you both going?
Going into what?
This is happening while he skulked off to make bad choices.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Before the should we sleep conversation?
No dragon shaming here.
I think he wants to I don't know. I guess in some way, I know Vert has very strong feelings. I know I wronged him. I know Honmor wronged him, and I kind of just want it, to a peace offering.
You can find Honlor, who has, now that the Dragon's Bane gas has dispersed, and it did disperse after probably a few minutes after the battle. It started to kind of thin, and now it's cleared out. Oldoth probably swooped down and kind of joined Honlor, and the two of them are kind of regrouping amongst themselves. So you can find them together probably near the dais at the center of the town. There are occasionally wardens who defected with Honlor, who kind of run up to him and give him reports, and he kind of sends them off to do different things. So yeah, he's kind of resting, recuperating, regrouping with his dragon, and then also kind of coordinating the efforts of those wardens who defected with him, including probably detaining those who did not.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how you find him.
I think he'll just be "Hey, how are you doing?"
I'm gonna grab a different song for this. Where did it go? Hold on, there we go.
Both Art and I, Gabo, we don't know how to do small talk, so
Join the club.
You asked, "How are you doing?"
Yeah. Stupid question, but
As well as I could, I suppose.
He kind of looks up at all of the bustle around him, and shakes his head and says,
I alluded to it a bit during my speech to the crowd, but I fear that while this may have been the right choice, it only prolongs an inevitable death for many of these people.
hopefully we can make more of an impact before it has to come to that. I thank you for your help, but also for trusting me. When I heard about everything that was happening here, when we first came here, I wasn't sure where I stood with you. I kind of assumed, once you're branded a traitor, that's kind of the end, right? Or at least so I thought. So I just want to express how much your trust in me and your friendship, even throughout everything that's happened, like how much that means to me. Like I am eternally grateful to you.
You give me too much credit, Lagos. When I first learned of the choice you made and your fate, and that I would be chosen to attempt to clean up the mess you left behind, I confess I had complicated feelings towards you. I did not know until you stood before me how I might feel, but seeing you there, full of the conviction that you feel, it was persuasive. I am sorry that I, too, failed this city in your stead. I should have been a better steward of it.
You and me both. Well, I think we could sit here and talk about all the ways in which we've fucked up royally. And I have a long list myself. I think at this point, what we should do is look to the future and try to protect these people and then people outside of these to the best of our ability.
I will do whatever I can to that end, but did you give him back the intelligence writ about Ice Tear Vale, or did you hold on to that?
Oh. Would I have shared it with them? I assume.
Did we? Wait.
He handed it to you at one point.
Yeah.
It was the intelligence report saying that the former capital of Ardalier had been burned by Dragonfire.
Yeah.
I just can't remember if you handed it back to him.
I assume I would have handed it back. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that he's clutching it.
Yeah.
And he says,
this is the extent to which the Empire will go to stamp out rebellion. And I am now leading these people into rebellion. Ninth Fall, our destination, it has a reputation as a near impenetrable city close to the level of Vogma itself, but it took thousands of years, but the Empire got into Vogma. They will not be safe there. Not permanently.
No.
Whatever I can do to protect them, it's no solution.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. But as you've seen, my friends and we won't stop until we make things right. This is only one step towards changing the world. And you see Art's eyes shine with conviction. He believes every word he's saying. There is no throughout this last I was gonna say few days. Throughout this last day, very long day, you've seen a lot of hesitation and doubt and having to steel himself and but when he says this, he is almost like he knows. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you keep your sword on your back or at your hip?
I think at my
your
hip.
Scabbard, yeah?
At my, yeah.
There's a brief flash from within your scabbard. From your sword. Just a brief flash of light. And Honlor marks it and he says,
your sword. When I felt its bite during our duel, there were moments where it felt stronger than I recalled.
He looks down at it and maybe holds it tight. He's like, yeah, I think she shares my conviction. I think, I can't quite explain it, but we're connected we've been connected in a way recently that I'd never felt before either. I don't quite understand why or how, but it makes me even more firm in my convictions in a way.
Yeah, he nods and kind of puts a hand on Oldoth and says,
a partner who makes you better than you are is a fine thing to have. Hold on to that.
Yeah. and his face like darkens a bit. There's a sadness there because he's thinking about Umbra. He also, so he says to him, speaking of which, thank you for what you shared. It is about Umbra. It's devastating, but I'm gonna find her, and I will make things right with her as well.
When you do, if there's anything that Oldoth and I can do to help, send for us in Nightfall. We'll do what we can.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think he kind of just like extends that hand towards
Yeah.
you again
Yeah.
for the like, wrist to wrist clasp.
Yeah, like hard eye contact, like
But
respect.
then, like he squeezes your like your arm hard as you're doing that handshake. But then he like goes a step further and like pulls you into a like a full on embrace.
Yeah, he leans into that embrace.
And he says, while you're embraced, I know you have a father of your own, but I have no son, and I've always thought my line must end with me. But if I were to have a son, I would have wanted him to be much like you.
I'm gonna cry. I don't think Art says anything. He just leans into the like hugs him harder, and it's just like.
Yeah, and Honlor's doing like the manly one tier thing.
Yeah, he's just like. I think with that hug, Art wants to communicate that having Honlor back in his life is such a blessing. He is such a source of strength for him. And hearing those words, it's kind of like when you kind of like have that feeling, but maybe you think, oh, maybe I'm thinking too deeply about it. Maybe he doesn't even like me that much. But having that confirmed meant a lot to him. Having it confirmed that he can not be perfect. He can fuck up. He can change his mind, change his life. And and having that person still be there, still believing in him, still supporting him, still willing to see anything through to the very end with him. Like, that's a feeling he hasn't felt maybe ever in his life. Or if at all, not in decades. So...
Yeah, and I mean, you're trying to convey all of that with your hug, but I think you feel it in return as well.
It's a very important hug. It says a lot.
Yeah.
This is how men communicate. Either dueling or hugging or something. There's a lot of emotions being shared. Complex ways.
We don't need words.
It's a very weighted hug.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And I think when they part, you can see that Art's eyes are watering as well. He gives him a smile, and he just says like, "Oh, before I forget, Vert, as you know,
He kind of gives like a knowing smile.
Yeah. I don't think he needs to finish that sentence, but it's more like,
he looks down to his hip where he's got like the horn strapped, and he undoes the buckle and kind of picks it up and looks at it, and he says,
For a long time, receiving this from the Emperor as a mark of my station and of my achievement was something I was very proud of. It's only in recent days, and in particular this day, that it has started to seem instead a mark of shame. So, return this to your friend for me.
thank you.
It belongs with him, if with anyone.
I plan to accompany him on his journey until we make things right, and hopefully a day not too long from today we can all live in a world free of this cycle of violence and of pain and constant suffering. Thank you for everything again, and I don't doubt that we'll be seeing each other again.
I hope it's soon.
Me too.
Yep.
And with that, I think he, is on his way, and he, with the intent of eventually, catching up with Bert and giving him the horn back.
Bert, wipes his mouth.
Bert, walks up very casually.
Play the music again.
The choir music?
No. The chill music.
They're all music.
Okay.
Casual walk back music.
Let's see, where was that one? There it is. The problem is, I have two different songs titled Magistar by two different artists, and one of them is a very different vibe, which is what happened there. Oh no, because the one I clicked was Dark Walk. Never mind. It was a different song entirely. I'm just dumb.
Hey, same. Minus 2 proves it.
A glimpse into Ethan's music psyche.
I'm just bad at music.
You're doing great.
Okay.
Can I add the scepter and I guess soon the...
Yes. You haven't, cast...
Haven't cast Identify yet? Or
and the sword needs to be identified as well. Yeah. I figure at this point, that conversation happened, but now we can be at the point where we were talking about
we were discussing where to stay, and we'll end up staying in town somewhere. I assume there's an inn, or maybe we could stay with the Knights of the Scale.
There is not an inn, not one that is nice, but you can stay at the Gilded Playhouse with the Knights of the Scale, or you could stay at Art's old house.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah,
which is now Hallmore's house.
Yeah.
I assume a lot of probably the soldiers and stuff are gonna be staying there. We could stay wherever. It's not.
It's up to you. We're good.
Do I want
sleep in the woods on the outskirts of town?
Sure.
Cut to Dagger roasting a marshmallow over the fire.
Oh, right, we need to get back to Dagger. No, we should go find Dagger. I think we should find Dagger.
She's waiting until you're ready to leave the town. So.
Yeah,
okay.
No.
Here before
that just feels so mean.
We probably should check in with the Knights in the morning just to make sure that everything's...
Yeah, everyth's going... Yeah, let's say... I think we stay with the Knights. I think that's okay.
Okay.
Because they'll also probably have more space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, presumably.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And quickly, because I really feel like I might fall over. Just any minute.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm super strong right now. I can carry you.
This is true.
Are you advertising that?
And,
I was going to say inside check.
Inside check?
Carry her quickly, too.
I know, I'm very fast and very strong.
I'm also pretty strong right now.
Are you?
Not as strong as you, but stronger than I was.
Actually,
also.
Yeah, last time
if we arm wrestled, I might win. Just saying.
You wouldn't beat Tuppence.
I was going to say,
oh no, I would
stand
never.
A chance against Tuppence.
I'd Owen whatever with Tuppence. That's not going to happen.
No, I got some strength from my thing too, but not that much.
Yeah. Anyways, we can.
Yeah, so let's go take a rest and we can talk to folks in the morning.
I wouldn't have left the square without the horn though. So
So let's do that right now.
Just give it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here.
Oh, I was just about to go get that.
Yeah, I just wanted one last chance to talk to Honlor. Thank you for giving him a chance. I know it couldn't have been easy. I mean, for what it's worth, thank you for giving me a chance and letting me prove to you that I can do things differently.
It's, if I'm being honest, it's a lot of firsts for me. So I am glad that it's paying off for both of us.
Yeah. How are you feeling, by the way? I know this was...
I'm actually going to roll a deception check here.
Ooh!
Because I'm
Because I'm obviously not asking about what just happened. It's just like more like
17 is what I got.
Okay. Let's see. Tiny dice.
You rolled the tiny one.
That's a nat 1. Yeah, I don't know shit.
So Anna's just like kind of tired. You know, that was a long
that's
day.
fair. Yeah.
But actually, she's feeling great.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah. Like,
is this conversation happening in the group, or did you like catch Vert aside?
I think like Vert would have like turned heel and started walking towards Han.
Oh, so maybe like we met in the middle. I was like, hey,
because Vert's like agenda's like I need to get this thing before.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are off by yourself.
And then maybe you would have been returning from that discussion, and then we have this discussion.
Yeah, and then we're like,
and then we go back and have the talk about.
Yeah, when you say like, I'm feeling really tired, I'm like, man, me too. Yeah, let's meet up with the others. Let's like go to sleep or something. We should rest. It's been
idea.
God, it's felt like weeks.
And we're gonna be hitting the road quick. So
yeah,
we got to get a good night's sleep tonight, and then just get to it again.
Mm-hmm.
So okay.
Yeah.
Right quick.
And now we're together.
Okay. Let's get some shut-eye.
Okay.
I think Embers wants to talk to Atil that night.
Okay.
And not wait till morning. Just like catch her after like the day's work is done.
Yeah.
Like back at the Gilded whatever Playhouse.
The Gilded Playhouse, yeah. She definitely goes back there to like pack up the things that are hers because they were stored there. So yeah, you can catch her at the Gilded Playhouse at some point that night. Let me find an appropriate song for this.
Did what's her face who always dies or falls in combat?
Maria!
Is she okay?
Stop.
She's okay.
I was gonna say, again, people stealing my thunder, that I was gonna check on Maria after this, but I was gonna let this play out first.
No, you should check up on her, please.
Well, yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
convince her to retire.
I don't think they were in the attack today.
No, they were still resting from the...
But because Elwyn... Yeah, we'll get to
Ethan has said a couple times that they weren't there.
Oh, they weren't there.
Yeah,
but
I was
they
still...
were in the previous mission, and they were spent.
I was planning to check up on her anyway, but yeah.
You
let's
find
do that
Outhild in the middle of like packing up some things in the playhouse.
Hey.
And she turns and she sees you. Oh, you.
Yeah. I wanted to have a word with you if it's okay now that things are a little bit less charged.
Yeah, let's should it be a private word?
It can be here. It's up to you.
Yeah, she goes and like takes a seat on the edge of the stage of this playhouse and kind of faces you. What can I do for you?
I didn't feel great about how things sat at when we parted at the plaza. It felt to me like you were sort of being cast in the position of bad guy, and that doesn't feel good.
Gosh, how would she react to that? Like, she looks like she doesn't know how to react to that, and she says, I don't know what you want me to say.
I guess, I don't know, I've been turning over in my head what you said about how Hunlord doesn't deserve to be forgiven, that you can work with the guy, but you can't let it go. And I thought, I'm not here to, advocate for Hunlord. I don't know the guy. I met him today. I'm not here to tell him you're wrong about anything. I've been in the city for a couple days now. I've seen what his rule resulted in. I've seen the people, the crackdowns. I was there, in the speakeasy when it was raided. I've been through a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what you have. And I'm not here to say Hunlord deserves to be forgiven.
That's good, because I can't do it. At least, if I'll ever be able to, it's not yet. Him or your friend. Lagos, Art, whatever he goes by now. It's because of him. Because of him that many of my friends were killed or taken to prison where they died.
Yeah.
And worse. You saw what became of the city, and yes, Hanlor's responsible for part of that, but the events were set into motion by your friend.
Can I make an insight check here?
Mm-hmm. What are you trying to figure out?
I have a suspicion, and this is like just personal player pop psychology at work here. I feel like she's upset at losing people.
Okay, yeah, make that insight check.
And, okay, yeah. It's not good, but I have advantage.
Inspiration!
Do it! I have inspiration.
Do it.
Yeah.
Worse.
Oh no!
Is it worse?
It's worse.
Oh,
it was
no.
a 5 and then a nat 1.
So 5 total.
No. My insight's decent. But not that decent, it's just a 9.
Yeah, you don't see anything in her demeanor that like confirms or refutes the way that you're feeling. So like
yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead with what I believe, based on nothing. And I think Ember says that like I do think you should forgive them, but not for their sake, because I think you should do it for you. I think carrying on this sort of anger is not going to do good things for you.
She kind of shakes her head and says, I've sworn oaths. Oaths I believe in. And my oaths... I can't let them get away with what they've done without punishment. I understand where you're coming from, because it eats me up inside. And I feel it gnawing at me, constantly.
And I don't know you either, I just met you the other day. But let me say that if that's what your oath is doing to you, maybe it's time to get a different oath.
But abandoning these oaths means they get away with it. Your friend Lagos served, 5 years in prison? And I'm sure that was awful.
I served 20.
I'm sorry about that. But I'm sure that whatever you did, it pales into comparison to what he did.
That's true, but I met the man who sentenced me there. And when the time came, I didn't want him to die. I tried to save him too. And the anger I feel is at the Emperor for killing him. For denying me the chance denying him the chance to ever be better. I think there's a thread that when you cut can't be resewn.
And my vengeance would be that thread.
Their lives would be that thread. I think you are a very good and honorable person, and I'm not here to tell you or to warn you off of attacking Hanlor or Art, because you've made that promise, and I can see you're someone who very clearly believes in the promises you make. I'm not worried about that, but I worry about you.
And she kind of closes her eyes and sighs. It's been a long time since anyone worried about me, including myself. So thank you. Can you roll a persuasion check?
Sure. Oh no, I already spent my...
You can take advantage on this one. Because you've been very convincing throughout the conversation.
Embers needs business cards.
-2. Oh, bad. 8.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there is that moment,
Yeah,
there's that moment of gratitude where she seems genuinely grateful for you showing concern to her. But she just shakes her head and says, the retribution against me and my friends during that initial rebellion, it was disproportional, and things just got worse and worse and worse for Bryvynth from there. I'm not ready to let it go. I don't know if I can. But I hear what you're saying about doing it for myself.
Yeah.
And I'll think about it.
I understand that all these feelings are very raw and very fresh. And I understand if you can't do it today, but think about it and try a little bit today.
I will think about it. But you should understand that there's a very real possibility that if I see your friend after today, and I have the opportunity, I will try to kill him.
I think Embers just smiles and says, I'll be there to stop you.
Pray that you are. Thank you.
Have a good rest.
Yeah, she looks exhausted.
Yeah.
And she just kind of nods and yeah, you can leave her to it. Does anyone else want to get up to anything tonight?
Identify.
Before that.
Yes.
Not identify.
Before that, I think while Embers is talking with Oddhild, Elwyn is like, oh, if you're going to go talk to Oddhild, I'm going to go check on Maria real quick.
Mm-hmm.
She wanders off in that direction.
Yeah, I think you can find them also in the Gilded Playhouse. Her and Emilio are... they look like they've rested while the rest of you were fighting. They look much healthier and more put together than they were last time you saw them, where they were kind of bedraggled after the Halls of Unyielding Justice fight.
Right.
Let me find them in my notes here. They're probably seeing to the wounds of knights who fought in the Plazas battle, or otherwise helping get people ready to move the next morning. But yeah, you can find the two of them. They're together.
Yeah, so Elwyn will just kind of poke her head in and just be like, hey, glad to see you look like you're feeling better.
Hi. Yeah, much better.
You've heard, I assume, what went down at the plaza?
Yeah, we heard. I mean, it's all everyone's talking about.
Right, okay.
So.
I just wanted to check in with you, Maria, you especially, just to see how you're feeling after everything.
She kind of looks around the room at all the energy of everyone getting things ready, and she says, sorry, let me double check one thing. Yeah, she says, well, it's a bit surreal. I mean, Bryvynth's been my home my entire life. I mean, it might be different for Emilio here, and she kind of nudges him, and he goes, ow! He's not from here, but, yeah, it's weird to go somewhere else, even though this place isn't what it was when I was younger. No, I think I'm doing okay. Are you okay?
Been better, frankly, but, I was... Do you mind if I give you a quick, very surface level exam? never used my magic to heal someone who was as far gone as you were, and I just want to make sure you're okay before we split. I would feel terrible if something were to happen, if something were to backfire, so I would... Mind if I...
Yeah, she has no reason, not to, so she kind of, holds up her hands.
Have a seat.
What should I do?
Just have a seat, and I'm just,
Yeah, she sits down.
She'll, just give, a quick, check her pulse, check her, temperature, and just whatever she has learned about basic medicine, because she is proficient in medicine.
Roll a medicine check, then.
Not that I'm expecting to find anything, but, Elwyn is kind of nervous about having cast Revivify for the first time. 12.
Yeah.
Wait.
As far as...
Math.
It's a big number.
13.
Hey!
Much better.
I was like, wait, 8 plus 5 is not 12.
As far as you can tell, she seems healthy and normal. Her pulse is within normal range. Her color looks good. She doesn't feel like she's warm. She's got a fever or anything like that. All seems well.
Okay, and I think after Elwyn kind of does this very gentle, unintrusive, routine checkup kind of thing, she'll just take Maria's hands in hers and say, we're not going to be able to come with you tonight in the fall. We have our own business we need to take care of in Fulaerith. Bigger problems. Please promise me you'll be more careful.
She kind of shares a look with Emilio, and he kind of looks around the room. Where would Art be in the room?
Probably with Anna, where you can identify stuff.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah, his eyes kind of land on Art and Anna over in the corner doing their identify stuff. And he says, we were talking, and actually we were kind of hoping you might let us come with you.
Really?
I'm not from here. Fulaerith is where I'm from. That's my home. And I gather you're headed that direction?
Yes. But you have to understand, what we understand about the things that are happening there would make this seem like a child's play date. It is extremely dangerous, and I don't know if we even know what to do about it.
They kind of share another look, and Maria kind of nods at Emilio encouragingly, and he says, there's nothing really drawing us to Ninth Fall, or even keeping us with the Knights anymore. We've both sworn oaths of our own, but that doesn't mean we have to stay with Audhild and stick with the rest of the Knights of the Scale. It's something we can do elsewhere, and from what we've seen of you and your friends, it seems like you're out there doing some good things, and
I think as he's talking, because Elwyn's so tired and it's been such a long day, her eyes just fill with tears immediately. Oh. She's just oh my gosh. And she just pulls them both into a big hug.
Yeah, they both seem a little bit shocked at that at first, but kind of melt into it. But
and then she's I'm sorry. Please continue.
It's just a matter of the way we're feeling drawn, and maybe things are too dangerous for us, and we'll listen to you and your friends if you tell us to stay back or to run. or whatever. We'll do whatever you think is best. We're willing to follow your lead in all these things. It's just there's nothing connecting us that direction. And the eyes find Art again. He was one of the last people to talk to my mom. And I just feel like if anything is pulling on me, it's that connection.
I think Ellen...
And Maria just says, and I'm with him.
Yeah, Ellen will reach out and she'll take one of Emilio's hands and one of Maria's hands, and she'll kind of give them both a squeeze and say, the Silver Seekers will have you happily. It will be extremely dangerous, but there will be a place for you in Amberhearth among our ranks, if that's where you want to go.
Yeah, they share a look again, and then they both kind of like look at you and nod.
I'll talk to the others.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. When are you going to leave? We'll be ready.
In the morning.
Okay. We'll say our goodbyes, and we'll be ready.
Be ready for the fight of your lives.
Yeah, they look at each other again, and yeah, you can see them like finding strength in each other, and they both nod. We'll be ready.
And then Ellen will just give them one last nod, and then she'll like go rejoin her friends.
Sounds good.
Get ready to pass out.
Identify stuff. Also, maybe we don't know this, or maybe we'll know it later, but our max HP reduction thing, is this going to be solved with a long rest?
It will be solved with a long rest. Yeah.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure. I guess I was going to ask, if I don't know, is that something I could identify?
It's something we looked up in the player's handbook, and it will be solved with a long rest.
Cool. Okay, so
Generally, max HP reduction is that way.
Yeah, I think Art and Anna find like maybe a long table or something, and like place the items out on the table, and then like one by one ritual cast, identify, and like talk about it, and then cast the next one and talk about it.
What do you want to start with?
I know identify was a ritual spell. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's so really
that's why
cool.
That's
keep
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
Let's start with the sword.
Okay. The sword, which
Does it cost money?
It doesn't. It does not consume the pearl.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
the sword, which is a long sword.
Long.
Oh my god, stop.
Sword.
Don't.
With like a dragon skull design on like the pommel.
Okay.
Yeah, dog snoring in the background.
That's just not to identify. It's like a slow drumming.
That's your magic.
As you cast the spell on it, what does identify tell you?
Okay. If the object is a magic item or some other magical object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement and how many charges it has. You learn whether any ongoing spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn the spell's name.
I see. Okay. Just let me check something here.
That's really helpful.
Yeah, identify is great.
Doesn't tell you if something is cursed. Not that I think Art's longsword is, but it doesn't.
It doesn't tell you it's cursed?
This is not Art's longsword. This is Dolatos' longsword.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it could very well be cursed.
Can we have remove curse?
I think that's something that I cannot do.
Cool.
Greater Restoration, yes. Remove Curse, I'll check.
Darn it, why is it not coming up in D&D Beyond search? One of my biggest gripes with D&D Beyond is that its search is not very good.
It's really not.
Now, this homebrew magic
It has
items.
to be like
Where's the
perfectly
regular
typed. And even then it's like,
That's
rough.
Yeah.
Rouse magic. No, that's homebrew. Okay.
Remove Curse is not a druid spell.
cleric, and
Cleric, Paladin, Warlock, Wizard.
There we go.
Oh, so I'll get it eventually.
But I will get Greater
But it's
Restoration.
3rd level, so... Oh, actually, wait. When we get there's the whole spell for the next level. A little after.
I'm sorry. Just
But Greater
DDD
Restoration
on
also
my
removes
vein right now.
a curse from a creature. Not necessarily from a... I'll get that next level.
Oh, okay.
There's not any
Curse.
longswords.
Putting the target's attunement to a cursed magic item.
There it is.
So perfect.
Yep. I don't
Alright.
think I remove the curse from the item, but I can remove a curse from a creature.
So they can unequip it or whatever. Yeah.
I couldn't search by longsword. I had to search by weapon. Anyways, you can tell from Identify that there are some like vestiges of magic that, when it was in Dolitos' hands, suffused this longsword, and those are quickly fading. But what will be left behind once those last vestiges fade is a +1 longsword.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In Dolitos' hands, it had additional properties, but once his
So it's like
influence
a combination of
I
certain
see.
magical effects.
Cool. Okay. So then next item will be. Let's see. We have. I'll do the scepter next.
fades. Okay. Similar to the longsword, there's that like trace of Dolitos' magic fading from it. So you suspect that, like, again, when Dolitos wielded it, there was additional properties. But what will be left once all of that has faded is an item that requires attunement, known as the Rod of Rulership.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
It's a rare item. You can take a magic action to present the rod and command obedience from each creature of your choice that you can see within 120 feet of you. Each target makes a wisdom save or has the charmed condition for 8 hours. While charmed in this way, the creature regards you as its trusted leader. If harmed by you or your allies or commanded to do something contrary to its nature, the target ceases to be charmed in this way, and it can't be used again until next dawn.
Okay. Very cool. And then last one is the horn.
Yeah, and this horn is it's like carved out of like brass metal, and it's got all these reliefs of like warriors fighting on it. And it is a horn of Valhalla, which allows you to take the magic action to blow the horn. Oh, it does not require attunement.
Which type is this?
Brass.
Brass. Okay.
So in order to use it, you have to have proficiency with all simple weapons. That's a requirement.
Oh, okay.
You can take the magic action to blow this horn. In response, warrior spirits from the plane of Ysgard appear in an unoccupied space within 60 feet of you. Each spirit uses the Berserker stat block and returns to Ysgard after 1 hour or when it drops to 0 hit points. They have some immunities to certain effects. Once you use the horn, it can't be used until 7 days have passed.
That's so crazy. How many?
Cool.
3 of them with this variety of horn.
Damn.
Yeah.
And mind, Berserkers are not a high-level monster. They are CR2. But some extra
That's
bodies on
pretty
the battlefield.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Anna's very pleased. Finally feeling like they made multiple steps forward in their sort of quest to,
And you didn't even want to
the
stay in
Empire.
Bryvynth.
I did not. Sure didn't. I'm not sure if I'm glad I did yet, but
Okay.
I'm glad at the moment, and we'll see what happens after the next city.
Seems to me you got some pretty cool stuff out of the deal, including the new feat.
Look, man. Do I care about a feat and magic items,
Yes. Says
yeah.
the min-maxer.
or the half sister? All right.
Says the min-maxer.
Stop it.
We know what your answer is.
Cool. So, Yeah, I mean, Vert's planning on just holding on to everything but the sword. Do you want it?
Yeah. What kind of... we can talk about this later. 'Cause I don't know about the Emilio thing yet.
Otherwise, the only other thing that I was going to do was use the sending stone to talk to my dad.
Good.
Give him a status update.
They paid for teleportation to...
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Country is Freydin, city is Alen'dal.
Yes.
Okay. But they had to teleport to Redwater and then travel to... Okay. So at this point, yes, I know right about where they would be. Okay.
So yeah, it's 25 words, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, just keeping it like...
Unless sending has changed in 2024, let's find out.
Okay.
Or the sending stone, specifically.
Sending stones, 2024 rules. You can cast sending from it.
Which would be 26 words.
I know. They're like...
Still 25 words or fewer.
Yep, 25
Okay.
words.
So it would be something like... This should be way less. Like, defeated Arbiter Dolatos, recovered Horn of Valhalla, and Rod of Rulership. How many are we at? Is that like
That's 11.
Leaving tomorrow for Fulaerith? No.
Fulaerith.
So I think, and that's what, 17, right? Or
I'm at 15
okay.
on my count.
So at the very beginning, it would say, "Hello, Father," and then that's and then
so
say,
17. Okay.
and then it would say, "Keep safe, love you," and then that's it.
Okay. 21 words. I think the response you get back eventually would be, and someone's gonna have to count this for me.
I'll count the first 10. You count the next 10.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
We can all count and then compare.
Hello, son.
Right.
Arrived safely in Redwater. Redwater's one word.
Redwater.
Alison arrived safely in Redwater. Yeah, I was right the first time. Okay.
Currently traveling east across plains to Alen'dal. Let's see. Glad to hear about your successes. Stay safe. I love you.
24.
24.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. If there's anything that we know how to do is to use sending pretty efficiently.
I love that there's a greeting and that
I bet you and your father
you.
like practiced this. Like he probably had like he had a stone in his lab that you would send messages to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if I could just add an actual like maybe a story to that is like Vert found it and started like playing with it, and then his dad wasn't upset by it. He actually like let him play with it and like played it with him and like taught him how to use it.
It was like the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Come in.
But it was like one of the many times.
What would his code name be?
Oh my God. It was like one of the times where like he's there when he's not supposed to be, and his dad just like rolls his eyes like, all right, let me actually show you how to do this the right way.
Yeah.
What would his code name be?
Yeah.
About it.
Who played like that game? Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I'll think about his code name. Their code names.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for tonight?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Ellen will come back to the group and tell them about Emilio.
So you don't have any conversations you want to have amongst yourselves?
I mean, do you want to have a conversation about the Emilio thing? How do we feel about Emilio and Maria joining us? They seem pretty adamant that they want to join the Seekers, and Emilio's worried about Fulaerith because that's where he's from. And Ellen looks at Art specifically and says, Emilio really wants to stick with you, I think, more than anything, since you knew his mom.
I'm just worried about their safety.
So am I. But they did say they promised to listen to our guidance and stay back if we order them to take cover or something. We could get to Fulaerith and scope it out, and if we deem it to be too unsafe, we can send them back to Amberhearth. We can ask them to lay low for a bit. But I think having them in Amberhearth with us, having them join the Seekers, it would be just what they need. It would be just what we need.
They're good. I'm not as worried about them as I was about, Eustace and all.
Yeah.
I will only say, and maybe this is not the right time to be talking about it, I think we should all move out of Amberhearth.
Do you think it'll be a target?
I don't want to make it a target.
I don't think it'll be safe anywhere if it's not safe there. There might be ways we can make it safe.
Maybe.
Before we talk about abandoning a community that we've sworn to protect. Let's look into ways to...
I just wonder if leaving it is the best way to protect it.
I have a question.
Yep.
So, our spaceship that we're growing, because that's how they're manufactured.
Yes.
How many people could it hold?
Not a town's worth.
Okay.
No. It's, I'd have to look up how many it is, but I think it's like a max of a crew of 25 or something like that. It's not big.
Okay.
I've been worried about that too. I have. And I've been doing a little bit of research about ways that I could protect, potentially, when we have to leave Amberhearth, leave it well guarded. And it's something that I think I might be able to do, maybe not right now, but with a little bit more study. So I don't know. I mean, I hear you, and I agree that if it becomes too dangerous, if we become hunted, we should leave. But there might be ways.
I'm not putting my foot down or saying we have to do it. I just wanted to raise it as something we should seriously consider.
I've been thinking about that too.
Yeah.
As far as Emilio and Maria, if everyone's... I'm just worried about their safety, but, they're adults, they can make their own decisions, and as long as everyone else is okay with it, I'm okay with it. And I understand where Emilio is coming from. I had half the mind to send them straight to Amberhearth, to be honest, when they said they wanted to join us, but Emilio, having said he's from Fulaerith, I think he deserves to see what's happening there with his own eyes and help. And it might help to have someone who's familiar with the city with us. Yeah. I look around at everyone. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I told them we're leaving in the morning, and I'm gonna get some sleep.
Okay.
I can't believe you're not already asleep.
I kind of am.
She was having this whole conversation with her eyes closed.
Yep. I'm like already trancing. Like sleep talking. Good night.
Good night.
Okay. The group of you have a long rest. And wake up
it's been so long.
refreshed.
Oh my god.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's one of those...
Let me just say,
Wow.
29 max HP when normally it's 52.
Yeah.
That's where I was.
A lot.
Yeah.
Because I was being picked on.
Don't call them
And cussed at. For no reason.
For no reason.
Sure, it was undeserved.
For no reason other than starting it.
Other than the DM just likes to pick on the squishy little druid.
And the squishy druid was dealing huge heat metal damage that couldn't be avoided.
The damage wasn't super bad. It was the disadvantage to attacking
that was also
really
a big
was
deal.
That was so good.
debilitating.
Like, brava.
Oh, by the way, for the listeners' benefit, Aster used inspiration and gave it to Vale
Yes.
earlier, but that's for tracking purposes.
Does Bryvynth have like a treasury or something that we could visit before we go?
That we could raid.
Yeah, I was like, are you planning a heist? Let us...
Yeah, we're abandoning a city and starting a rebellion.
Bryvynth has kind of fallen on very hard years recently. It was never like a rich town to begin with, but it very much thrived on like tourism, and that has not been a thing for the past few years. Like as a city, there might be some funds that Honlor is in charge of, But I think he's probably planning on like taking those to Ninth Fall and using them for this, like getting his citizens set up there.
Yeah, I was going to recommend that.
Yeah, literally.
First, and then depending on if it was like, oh yeah, they're super wealthy, it like, you know,
it's definitely
dark
not that.
secret, like they actually have tons of money even though they don't show it. Then I'd be like, well, I mean, how much can they take? How much is left behind? But if it's like they're just taking what they can and going with it, cool.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Also, Ethan, side note, but the staff item, custom item that you made for me, could do with a charge option, so I can mark if I've used the miracle or not.
I see. Yeah, I know how to do that now. I didn't know how to do it before, but I know how to do it.
It's cool because I can keep track of it, but for future,
I will make a note of that.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, can you remind me what weapons Maria and Emilio used?
Yeah, I think they both use like warhammers, but they would be proficient in the sort of weapons that paladins are proficient with, which I think is probably martial weapons.
Yeah. Okay.
Neither of their weapons is like magical or anything like that.
Gotcha.
It's about to be.
Did either 1+1 longsword?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think
with a cool skull on the bottom.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Here,
dragon skull, right?
Wield Dolotos' longsword.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty fucking rad, bro. I think one of them is gonna get it.
Yeah, they both use warhammers.
Okay.
And neither one uses a shield right now.
Okay.
And they are wearing chain shirts as far as armor goes, which is kind of minimal.
Yeah.
Do they want some better armor?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later. It's not important right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd also have to look at what paladins.
Also, just like a general, I guess. Could I have a general idea of like, is the two of them leaving? Does that leave the rest of like the group going to Nightfall in like a particularly precarious situation? I assume not, because now they have Honlor and a bunch of like ex-Imperial.
They've got Honlor. They've got a dragon.
That's you know what?
They have.
I forgot about the dragon. They're
the
fine.
rest of the Knights of the Scale.
I forgot about the dragon.
I forgot about the dragon.
They are fine.
They have a dragon.
Maria and Emilio were only two of many of the young knights.
Yeah.
So they don't deplete that force much, and like as you pointed out, there's also the wardens who defected. So yeah, they're not particularly vulnerable.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, because that would be my only, like, as art, I think that would be my only hesitation. But like, yeah, they have a dragon. I think
it's a good thought, but they're fine.
Okay,
They have more dragons than we do right now.
They do. Hopefully not for long.
Hopefully not for long.
Yeah, and their destination, Ninth Fall, is one of the most like secure cities.
Yeah.
In this continent, so.
I think. Are we going to bed? Is that what's happening now?
I think Elwyn's already snoozing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, I've already marked a long rest. I am prepping my spells for the next day. But if you want to do something in the evening, that's
just like. I think he's too tired to like try to comprehend the whole like Fulgora thing, his sword. But I think he'll like just look at the sword and just like say thank you, and like he falls asleep, like kind of like just
hand on the
like hand on his sword, like thank you. I don't know what you see in me, but thank you for all your help today. And then just falls asleep. Yep.
Snores are had.
Snores are had.
Snores are had.
And the group of you wake up feeling refreshed.
Yay.
And full of max HP. Beautiful.
Wow, that's epic.
This one is called Embark. Is there anything else that you want to do here in Bryvynth? Anyone here you want to talk to?
No.
Okay. I needed someone to say no so I could move on. That's great.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, is there anyone? We talked to everyone we wanted.
I think.
We don't know
I
that
think
many
he would
people.
want to
What
talk
about
to
that one dude?
Unhild, but I don't
Did they
think
leave
she'd
already?
want to talk to him. So I think, can I?
Where's Selvo?
Oh,
He's probably like leading
Has he?
them back.
Yeah. Do
Have
we
we
want to
seen-
talk
is
to
he
him?
back?
Yeah, you would have seen him coming and going from the Gilded Playhouse.
Do we need to talk to Selvo?
He wasn't involved in like any of the battles, but now that like things are needing organizing, he's kind of like more than Outhild, he's directing the knights at this point because he's much more about logistics and things like that.
so are we talking to Selvo?
Do we need to talk to Selvo?
No.
I don't think so.
Can I just leave like a? I would say a letter, but like on like a note.
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
Onhild to like find or like read later.
Yeah.
I think.
You can grab like any one of the random knights going around. And
Yeah,
leave it
and
with
just
them.
like I think the gist of it would be like I know how much pain I cost you and your people, and nothing I ever do will ever fully make up for that. But thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for giving Hongler a chance. And the fight's not over yet. I hope to show you one day that I'm not the same man that you met all those years ago. And yeah, I think that's basically the gist of it. It's just like expressing his regret at his past actions and his conviction to like do things differently and show her that giving him a chance wasn't misplaced.
Mhm.
But that's it.
Yep. And you leave that with one of the knights, entrusting them to get it to Outhild. And then the group of you depart city, reunite with Dagger, who has just been camping outside the city, waiting for you with your cart. I presume you came with your cart.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
And your horses.
I realized again that I thought like, oh, we left her waiting for so long, but no, it's been
It's been like 2
nights.
days.
Also,
Yeah.
Dagger is like a warforged, and I feel like they're pretty good at just like hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only that, Dagger is a warforged who like never regained her personality or memory of who she was. She only has like her mission.
Yeah.
So, she was fine. As the group of you leave Bryvynth, do any of you turn back for like a final look at the city?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Art and Elwyn, as you're kind of leaving the city, you take that moment to kind of turn back and look at it, and you can see from this vantage point kind of up above the city on a bit of a hill, you can kind of see down into it, and you can see the ruins of the halls of unyielding justice. You can see just like the forest area around it devastated to create the palisade wall that now surrounds the city. You can see the squalor of the buildings within, and you can see it full of life, bustling and preparing to leave. But something else catches both of your eyes. At the gate to Bryvynth, which you've just come through on the road out, faintly in the kind of like gray morning sunlight, you make out several shapes of almost like bluish white, grayish light standing in the archway. And they kind of resolve into humanoid forms, but they're translucent, see-through. And they're wearing the like armaments and vestments of the Knights of the Scale, but with that old symbol. And as you leave, you can just see the one at their head kind of like gives a bow with the head. And all the ones behind it give a bow with the head as well. And then they kind of fade.
Oh, I imagine this as like Embers and Anna are kind of leading the group to the cart. And as we get up to, the hill or whatever, and Art turns around, Elwyn sees that he turns and turns with him. And so when she sees this happening, she just reaches out and grabs Art's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he just lets that sink in for a bit. Feels
you're
relief. Like some of that shared peace.
You're reminded of the words from your dream, though, in that moment. The Knights of the Scale must rise again, but these cannot stand, for they swear the wrong oaths. And you just kind of you turn back, you see these knights, and then you look forward and you see the two young knights walking ahead of you, who are now your charges. And you depart Bryvynth and get on the road.
Player question.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having everyone leave.
Yes.
Bryvynth, because we think people are going to be coming here looking for them.
Yeah.
I can make it more difficult for people to get into the city if we want to do that.
I just assume this city will be
It'll
destroyed.
Just be there. But if there's anything in there that we just don't want people to find, but I can do that. But do you want me to? For flavor.
I like that. Yeah.
Then
even
I think
just to give them a head start.
Yeah. So I think Elwyn, seeing kind of this happen and seeing the significance of it, and watching the last people leave, Elwyn will just kind of squeeze Art's hand, and then she'll kind of walk back towards the city for a second, and she will kneel down at the entrance to the city and kind of stick her fingers into the soil and close her eyes, and she's going to cast plant growth.
Mm-hmm.
And just the instantaneous feature of it is overgrowth. So now 100-foot radius. 100-foot radius sphere, at the entrance inside, becomes thick and overgrown with plants. It's basically even more overgrown than just difficult terrain. It's you have to spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot, so it's twice as hard to get through. So she just kind of pumps her magic into the soil, and you just watch as these really lush, thick, foresty undergrowth kind of plants rise from the soil just 100 feet beyond the gate, and just make it a little bit harder to just letting nature kind of reclaim the town a little bit.
So this growth grows up over the entrance, kind of protecting and shielding the town a little bit. And then the group of you get on the road. And the first thing I need to know is, do you want to go fast, normal, or slow? If you travel fast, you're looking at 5 days to Fulaerith. Normal pace, 6 days. Slow pace, 8 days.
I feel like we lost some time here, so we better go fast.
What are the disadvantages of going fast?
We can't be stealthy if we go fast.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be very loud.
And you're also less observant.
Yep.
I see.
So, if there's an ambush, you might get caught by surprise. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a 1 day difference, maybe it's not a big deal, but because even if we picked the first bit's fast and then we slow down like we did here, that's not going to save us much time, right?
Yeah, not on such a short journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we just do normal.
Definitely not slow. But
normal sound good then?
Alright.
Okay. The next thing I need is just to kind of like set the stage for the rest of your trip is to find out how the weather is. So I need 3d20 rolls. One for temperature, one for wind, and one for precipitation.
I'll do one.
Yeah.
What is that?
The first thing, 13.
Temperature.
Okay. Are you doing wind?
So the
You do wind,
temperature,
I'll do
it's kind of,
precipitation.
you're getting into like early fall at this point, and so it's kind of that sort of cold, but still pretty mild temperature.
I like that.
And who had wind?
I got 10 for wind.
It's you have not very much wind for the first leg of the journey, like almost none.
Mhm.
It's a very calm temperature. And precipitation?
7.
Yeah, it doesn't rain on you or anything like that either.
Very average weather.
So the first bit of your journey, it's very kind of like nice, peaceful weather. Once again, if you have anything you want to talk with amongst yourselves during the journey.
Is this how long are you planning on covering with this sort of?
At a normal pace, 6 days.
Well, no, I'm asking like when you were about to say like.
Oh,
first part of our
like
journey,
3.
is that-
The first 3 days.
Okay, so then yeah, there are 2 conversations that I would like to have in the initial leg of the journey.
Mhm.
One with Embers, one with Elwyn. Embers, you know what I'm going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think probably maybe the first night. Vert will approach Embers and say, so, back in Bryvynth, we really have to work on not using my identity.
I know. I'm really
It's okay.
bad at this.
I know.
I've never known anyone who was supposed to. It's so much to keep track of.
Well, yeah. Maybe we can just come up with a, like, instead of using the names of my disguises, maybe some sort of title or something that we can generally go by.
I could call you Buddy.
Sure. Or, like, you know, if I'm going to be the one that's doing the, like, you can say our tactician or something, if that's going to be sort of my generic role in the group.
Oh, I could call you Boss.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of using...
Wait, is that a problem if you're not supposed to be my boss?
Yeah, probably.
But most people don't know who my boss is.
That's true. In any case, if it's too hard to keep track of the names of all the disguises,
Yeah.
and you want to just use like a rank or title or something, we can try that instead.
You got it, boss.
Okay. Give you the finger guns. And then, yeah, I mean, he's like, obviously no harm came of it in the end, so it wasn't a big deal this time, but like, you know,
It could be.
could have been. So, yeah, otherwise, since Embers wasn't there, Vert will also, if Embers is interested, share the information about what he got for the spoils, like the magic items I found, because he's kind of excited about it too.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to hear about it, then he'd be like, oh yeah, check this stuff out that we got too.
Yeah, I think, like, Embers is so doesn't care about
Okay, never mind then.
about the sword. She's like, yeah, it's a sword. I'm gonna use swords. I don't really know much about swords. And then you like show her the like rod of command or like the rod of rulership.
Yeah.
She's like sort of making like a face about the whole thing. It's like, oh, okay. Sure. Are we gonna use this?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
I'm still figuring out what we're going to do with these things.
I mean,
but
you got her to call you boss without even using the item, so...
I don't even need it.
Maybe he used the item.
Oh, shoot. Hides it. We actually didn't get that.
And then you show her the horn. It's like, like that's the one that she's interested in. It's like,
Okay.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You start, huh?
What?
You start, huh?
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know. That's about it for that one.
Okay.
But yeah.
Night, boss.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the same night, probably, but Vert would also approach Owen.
Mm-hmm.
Probably when they have some privacy. Yeah, when they have some privacy, he would. Okay. I need to think about how to even do this.
Yes.
Let's see. So
It's like when they're on watch together or something.
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I think Vert's like. I mean, you probably wouldn't even need to roll insight to tell that he's a little fidgety, more than usual.
Passive insight 21.
Yeah.
So, but he's like, obviously something is on his mind. He's not trying to hide it from you. He's about to tell you, but that's kind of his mood. Is he's like, hey, so the day before we left Bryvynth, I did a thing, and I drank some of Ihar's blood.
What?
Yeah, so...
Like... You... What?
Mm-hmm.
I think you can see Elwyn visibly going a little green.
I know, right?
What? Why?
So, how much did I tell you about Nyadon? Everything?
I don't know.
Most things?
Have you told me about the bloodlust or the bloodthirst? I mean, it's been going on since Port Horizon Shroud, but it's been so like fleeting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know if it's been front of mind for you. I don't know if you told me that.
So maybe he'll just say, well, so one of the influences from Nyadon is there's a certain hunger or thirst with dragons. Because he used to be a like vampiric dragon of some kind.
And he compelled you to do this?
Well, it was kind of my own curiosity.
Oh, okay.
But obviously I'm okay. Everything turned out okay. But yeah.
Is he?
I mean, Bert, you feel okay, right?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Yeah. I mean,
What would I have to roll to like really get a good look at him now that I have this information?
Probably. I mean, honestly, this kind of thing to diagnose this would be like an Arcana check.
I am proficient in Arcana.
Hey.
That makes one of us.
Are you?
Like some people here.
You 2014 character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, is that a nat one?
On my dice, it lights up and tells everybody in the room that I got a nat one. So that's a 12.
How could he be okay?
How could he be okay?
No, I mean he seems well, I mean he seems like a bit sheepish in the moment.
Yeah.
But, I mean other than that, like he seems normal.
Well,
Here.
I appreciate your spirit of discovery. I can't fathom why anyone would want to even attempt something like that, but I'm glad you're unharmed.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. And he's like, here, look. And he like pulls up his, or like maybe pulls down or pulls up like his shirt he's wearing or whatever, and like shows her the like scales that are there now. See, this is, I can't really see it, but
yeah, I guess you would know that happened to you.
yeah, but this is what happened. This is so. You said like emerald? Like
Yeah, they're kind of like an emerald green color.
Where are they?
Like on his right shoulder blade.
You guys discovered the patch of silver scales on Doritos, right?
Yes.
Doritos, yeah.
Vert and Art did.
Yes.
Yeah. Did y'all tell the group about that?
I assume I would have relayed that.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
Because that seemed to be an amalgamation.
That's
of,
the
like,
first
a
thing
lot
I
of-
think Ellen thinks of then when she sees like this patch of dragon scales on someone who's...
This is different from that, though, because that was like a piece of dragon had been sewn
on,
into
and this is
this
just-
body. And this, like, you can see Vert's, or I guess in this case Anna's, like, normal skin, like, underneath the scales. It's just as if
And you're
like,
still
a patch of
Anna
scales has grown there.
right now.
Yeah.
I think on watch I'd probably be Vert with you.
Okay. Okay, so... that's... Vert, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's really scary to me.
Yeah, it took me a second to...
This passenger that you have, we don't understand it, and we're not even sure that he's fully aligned with our cause, with everything that we stand for. I don't know how much I trust him, and for you to allow him to change you like this is... I'm not sure that was a good idea.
I mean, I think you and I are both sort of calling upon greater powers for help.
Yes,
Right?
but mine haven't changed me.
Haven't they? I mean, not in a bad way. As long as you...
I meant physically altered.
Oh, well... I didn't notice things, though, right? Like when we first had, like, with the werewolf thing? Hang on, I'm gonna roll
What are you
insight.
talking about?
I'm gonna roll insight now. Because, like, you definitely have been physically changed.
She hasn't really talked about that, though. To the
Well,
group.
and there's
true.
the deity that I agreed to work with, and there's a consequence of
Being squishy.
an encounter that we had,
Yeah, but I didn't specify.
and we're talking
But-
about two different things.
But I've
Yeah.
noticed that you've been, like, your wounds have closed up way faster and stuff like that. Because I did a medicine check. So, anyways, are you deceiving me?
Are you asking in character? Are you
Yeah,
asking?
I rolled an insight check. Are you,
What was
are
your
you-
What was your
I
insight?
rolled an 11.
11. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'll roll 2. Why
Yeah,
not?
okay.
Why not?
So basically, like, Vert thinks that, like...
I don't know what the connection is.
Yeah, so you think she might be, like, those changes might be from her.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
I'm not about to, like...
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So I got a 12.
Okay, so you beat me. I won. So I think I'm onto something.
Flash of Venus, no, sorry.
Yeah. No, don't remind him.
That'd be genius.
That would be heinous.
That would be heinous.
No, I mean not against Elwyn. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I would,
so-
I'm like. I think he just gives you like a look, like a knowing look, like I've seen things. And I'm not. You know.
Listen, my agreement with the Weaver, it strengthens me, yes, but I have not let her physically alter me.
But how are you?
And I have not let her into my head and my body and my soul and let her convince me to do things that I know are not safe or good.
Sure, but like.
You almost killed Art during the festival.
We've talked about that.
We have, and I thought that was the end of this conversation, and now you're over there drinking dragon blood? And letting him into you more? I thought that we were going to keep him at arm's length.
I mean, him and I have also talked too, and I think that he's aligned with me, and he's aligned with us. And I think that thing at the festival is not going to happen again.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Well, hopefully you won't.
hopefully I will see you restraining yourself. Is
Okay.
my point.
Sure. Anyways. I mean, I've still noticed things with you, though. You're not hiding something from me, are you?
Why would I hide anything from you?
Well, like, you're, something happened when you were missing that day, and I feel like you've been avoiding me.
I am not avoiding you. I don't understand it myself.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. I don't even remember what happened.
Okay.
And I felt fine since then.
Alright. So it's nothing that I need to worry about then?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
But I don't have a dragon living in my head telling me to drink blood, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, I don't think a lot of people have that. So.
Solid defense, bro.
Solid defense. I think, Ellen kind of rolls her eyes at that.
Yeah. Sure. But, okay. I mean, I'm just,
Look, I appreciate that you're worried about me, but I think you need to worry more about yourself
I
right
am
now.
worried about you, but also I'm trying to be honest with the things going on. And I don't want to run into any more situations where I'm hiding stuff from you or anyone else, okay? So I made a decision. I don't know if it was a good decision or not, but I did it, and I'm telling you about it.
Okay.
And honestly, when I did it, it was just, I don't know, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have listened when I was talking to them about it, and it was the opportunity, and my curiosity got the better of me, and here we are. But I don't know, Owen. I mean, this, having to fight such a grand enemy, and I feel like I need to find some strength somewhere else too, or some additional strength from outside somehow. And this was an opportunity. I mean, we're going against the Emperor, and the League of Terrors. I have Nihad on here with me. I have you and everyone else. I'm gonna pull every string I can.
Just make sure you don't pull the one that unravels who you are.
Okay.
I think Ellen gets up and walks away at that.
Such a good walk away line. God, when I made eye contact, we were like, oh!
I miss so many good expressions because I'm having to
All right.
Art, that same night, when you're awakened for your turn at watch, let's see how this song is. This is a gamble. I can't remember. Yeah, this feels pretty good.
A bass drop.
When you're awakened to take your turn at watch, you're in kind of you're on the road through kind of a dark evergreen tree forest, as much of Vidun is. Does Art find a tree to lean against? Does he sit on a stump? Does he find a rock or sit by the fire? Where does Art settle for his watch? Does he pace and patrol the area?
I think he'd stay close, just as he wants to make sure that his friends and everyone is safe. So I think leaning against a tree by the fire, very alert.
Okay. I'm just trying to find where I made my notes about this. There it is. As you're kind of taking this moment to yourself to kind of survey the area and keep watch, keep your friends safe, your sword flashes in its scabbard again, and you sense something from it, which is new. You sense almost like a desire to be drawn.
I think I'll, Art will follow. We'll just go with the flow there and, like, just look at Fulgora.
It's this crystal sword that almost seems to contain this, like, pure white starlight within it. You draw it out and kind of, like, hold it across, like, the flat of your palm. And a voice emits from the sword, audible. And it says, and in Draconic it speaks after that yawn. Hello.
Like, jaw on the floor. That'd be really funny, actually. No, hello. You can talk?
Shouldn't have eaten those mushrooms, Art.
I now want to put
You
this
look
good
towards the
berry.
stew pot.
Like, whoa.
I can. It's been a long time since I have, but I can.
Who? How? What? I have so many questions.
Ask them.
Have you always been here? Like, around? With me? With my father? With his father? With... he stops himself.
Yes.
Huh. Why...
I have not revealed myself. In many years, many generations, I cannot recall how many, I was afraid. We were too close. Too close to Rupolth, where he dwells. It wasn't safe.
Does this name mean anything to me?
Rupolth, yes,
Yeah.
is the capital of
Sorry.
Rubrun, which is the state in the far, it's like the northwestern corner of the empire.
Okay.
It is also the capital of the empire as a whole.
There we go.
Yep.
I see.
And the place that you're from, Elnord, is in kind of the northeast, so they're kind of adjacent as far as states go.
Why now? Why me?
I felt that the time was right. Long ago I saw something in the stars that propelled me on my path, and now I feel that you are carrying me on to my next step of it. I see something in you that reminds me of that mission, the thing I set out to accomplish. And this distant from him. And to you, I felt it was safe to awaken.
Or kind of like is still a little perplexed, letting all of those words sit with him, because this sword, I think I've shared it with the rest of you, but like it's been passed down generation over generation. His ancestor who fought in the War of Liberation alongside Emperor Stratus wielded this sword. So he had never heard of it speaking or having any additional properties. He knows it's a good, like, forged blade, but this is still, like, all news to him. So,
Your ancestor, who, by the way, is your namesake,
yes,
Artoria
Drogwin.
Drogwin.
Because his name... yeah, I guess I should mention this again, because I don't know if everyone caught it, but Art's full name is Lagos Artorius Drogwin. Drogwin is spelled very dragonborn. he'll... What is your mission?
I came across the vast gulf of stars, alongside Stratos and Syros, to free this land from the chromatic dragons. This entire world. And that work is unfinished.
I see. So we're aligned in our mission.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard me, but I'll just say it again. Thank you for your help these past few days. I wouldn't have done what we accomplished without you.
I heard you.
Huh. Is there anything you want from me? Or need?
Stay your course. I am impressed by your new commitment.
He smiles big at that.
I think that together, perhaps we can fulfill the destiny I saw written in the stars so very long ago. And with that, you can almost feel like the consciousness is like being pulled back into like drowsiness. But as it goes, Fulgora, your sword, says, "I will do what I can to help you." And the sword kind of shines with a brighter light than it has before for a moment, before like fading back to that normal, regular starlight. And you can swap Fulgora in your inventory for one that I have custom made, which is Fulgora Crystal Longsword +1.
Oh,
yay! Gotta love an Awakens weapon.
that was really cool.
And you just throw the longsword.
No, I'm giving it to Amelia
I don't
or
even
Maria.
need this anymore.
Like
Either one. Yeah.
whoever wants it.
And with that, the group of you continue your march toward Fulaerith, and at this point in the journey, the weather does begin to take a turn.
All the girls on natural 20s.
The sky above, the sun almost never seems to peek through this thick layer of dark storm clouds. There is often rain or wind blowing at you. It's nowhere near the strength of when you were at the Wind Nexus or anything like that, but there is a constant storm over the immediate area around Fulaerith. And as you get closer and closer to the city itself, you begin to see in the clouds almost like just flashes of lightning every now and again. Until finally you come within view of the city of Fulaerith, and you can see this vast lake in which the city is built on a number of islands. Dagger points you in the direction of the lakeshore, where you can see there is an encampment set up, and even at this distance you can see the glint of Warforged armor moving amongst the camp, and you can see this group of Warforged, Dagger's people, the Watchers, and amongst them you see one particularly large Warforged, watcher himself who kind of like moves among them. And they seem to be kind of like surveying and monitoring the city. And as you approach, you watch something very interesting happen. You start to see that there is actually some sort of shimmering field around, like, enveloping the area around the city. It's almost imperceptible at a distance, but as you get closer, you can see the shimmers of magic. And your eyes are drawn to this tower of gigantic proportions that rises from one of the islands. The tower at the top of which Vert has relayed to you sits, the lightning nexus itself. And there is almost like an earthquake rumbling that kind of goes throughout the area, a like groaning and shaking of the world. The top of the spire explodes and a shockwave ripples out.
Jeez.
And you see something. Some creature composed entirely of lightning and made of gigantic proportions claws its way towards the sky and rises up into the lightning clouds where flashes of lightning just go haywire. And as the tower collapses and falls to the ground, you watch as this wave of destruction rips out across the entire city and just levels it entirely. Houses, all manner of buildings, parks, just everything is leveled. And then a cloud of dust just kind of fills that magical barrier. And then you watch, as quickly as it happened, it all reverses. The dust billows back inwards, the buildings right themselves, the tower reconfigures itself, the creature plunges back downward into the lightning nexus. And time winds backwards. You can see days or hours passing within the bubble, separate from the time that you are experiencing outside. And that is where we are going to pick up next session.
Holy shit.
Wow. What are we getting ourselves into, guys?
You know, it seems contained. Let's just turn around and go back there first. Problem solved!
Yep. So yes, thank you guys for playing. That was a lot of role-playing, but it was great. We'll be back with this not next week, because we're going to take a little break so that I can actually plan this ambitious arc. And Kay is going to take us on a short revisiting to Exandria in our campaign there. And then after a couple weeks of that, we will be back to this to finish off this season of this show. So it won't be long. Stay tuned. Thank you all for playing. Thank you to everyone who came in to watch, and we'll be back with this more of Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you then.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.